Welcome back to Askewed Reviews, and we have another movie request for today, and it is for the 1996 horror comedy sci-fi They Bite. Here is your trivia question for today. What is the name of the adult film the crew starts to make during the movie? The answer will be at the end of this video. Our film starts off near a beach, where a photographer is taking pictures of a model, and everything seems to be going fine so far, maybe getting a little hot and heavy, but at one point the model jumps into the water to have a bit of a swim when she's attacked by some sort of fish creature. Now, the photographer, who's an absolute douche canoe, decides to just keep taking pictures instead of trying to save the woman. Now, we jump ahead a little bit to a family who is having a fun beach day when one of the kids ends up finding something very interesting: a severed hand with multiple bites on it. The police officers investigating this seem to be a bit confused as well, as it doesn't exactly look like shark bites, so they can't seem to figure out what kind of creature it is. Now, about this time, they also received the pictures that the photographer took at the beginning of the film, and now they're very confused as to what this could be. So, one of the officers reaches out to an old friend of his who happens to be an ichthyologist. Her name is Melody Duncan, but she also goes by Mel, and she was a high school friend of one of the officers. Now, she's currently staying at a hotel, so the officer decides to send the pictures out to her. Now, staying at this same hotel are a group of people making an adult film. Now, the director of this film happens to also be called Mel Duncan. So the pictures that were originally supposed to be given to Melody end up in Mel's hands, and he ends up showing them to his producer by mistake. After seeing the photographs, Sam, the producer, now wants to change the adult film, and it is now going to be about fish monsters that want to make love to people. Now, along with the actual monsters that appear in this movie, the film crew also has to deal with a group called the Citizens for a Decent Society, led by Reverend Rex Stoner. Now, of course, more and more people, including these teenagers who are in the wrong place at the wrong time, keep getting attacked and murdered by these creatures. Now, some odd people in very interesting outfits start showing up and taking the creatures away. What their motives are, we don't really know yet. So eventually, Melody and Mel switch the photographs back, but they decide to start working together to find out what the mystery is of these fish creatures. Why Melody doesn't reach back out to her friend in the police department, we'll never know. This film was written and directed by Brett Piper, and it appears that he just continued to make fun B horror movies after this. With this film, apparently art imitates life, as both the character Sam in this movie and the real producer for this film, Bill Lynx, were apparently nightmares to work with. Bill actually said he wanted a film with fish monsters and tits. Lynx was apparently mad that this movie turned out to be a comedy. What I find funny about that is director Brett Piper said to him, "You asked for a movie about fish monsters and tits, and you expected me to take it seriously?" Apparently, what Bill Lynx was hoping for was another version of the movie Humanoids from the Deep, where fish monster creatures are actually trying to mate with humans. This movie was the first and last film appearance for Donna Frotscher, who played Melody. Unfortunately, it was also the final film for comedian Charlie Barnett, who played Larry. He died the same year that this film released. Adult film star Ron Jeremy plays the character Daryl, and they definitely make a reference towards the fact that he is who he is, with all of the phallic jokes during his scene at the grocery store. So when it comes to the film They Bite, I like that it looks like a cheesy 80s horror movie, and that's really essentially what it is, even though apparently it was released in 1996. But I wouldn't say it's a great movie, so I am going to give this one a 2 out of 5. Now, as for the trivia question from the beginning of this episode, what is the name of the adult film the crew starts to make during the movie? As Sam the producer lovingly calls it, Invasion of the Fish Fuckers. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Askewed Reviews. And if there's a movie you'd like to see get a review, just mention it in the comments. And as always, like, comment, share, and subscribe.